All right, when you picture the best places to work in America, what pops into your head? You're probably thinking about sprawling tech campuses, right? Gourmet cafeterias, sleek offices. But what if I told you that one of the most consistently top-ranked workplaces is a supermarket? Yeah, a grocery store. It's this incredible paradox, and we are going to break down exactly how they pull it off.
I mean, it sounds kind of crazy, doesn't it? A grocery store beating out tech giants and famous corporations. The retail industry is famous for being a tough gig with really high turnover. So, how in the world did a supermarket not only survive, but build a culture that's, well, legendary? That's the big question we're digging into today. And honestly, the answer might totally flip your idea of what a great company even is.
And look, this isn't some lucky break or a one-time award. We're talking 21 consecutive years. For more than 2 decades, they've been on Fortune magazine's list. That kind of consistency is just unheard of. It tells you there's a powerful, deliberate system going on behind the scenes. So let's rewind. Where did this all start? To really get what Publix is all about today, you've got to go back to the very beginning. It all started with the founder, a guy named George Jenkins. His vision? Well, that's the bedrock for everything that came next. So this guy, George Jenkins, he wasn't born with a silver spoon. He started out as a teenager, just a 17-year-old clerk at a Piggly Wiggly. But man, he had ambition. Just 5 years later, he quits and goes off to open his own store. And by 1945, he was already buying up a whole chain of 19 stores. He was building something big right from the get-go.
And his whole vision? It wasn't some long, complicated mission statement full of corporate speak. It was super simple, but really powerful. Clean stores, friendly service, and good quality stuff. That's it. Just a straightforward promise. But Jenkins knew, you can't deliver on that promise without happy employees. And that one simple idea, that was the seed for their entire people-first philosophy.
And this leads us to the real secret sauce, the absolute game changer for Publix. It's a concept that completely redefines the relationship between a company and its workers, and that is employee ownership. Right, so you can't just go buy Publix stock on the New York Stock Exchange. It's not for sale to the public. Why? Because the employees own it. It's done through something called an ESOP, an employee stock ownership plan. Basically, after you've worked there for a year, you get to start buying into the company. Think about that for a second. You're not just an employee, you're an owner. You're not just working for the company, you're working for your company. And this is what really blows my mind. We're not just talking about the top execs in some fancy headquarters. The biggest group of shareholders at Publix are the baggers, the bakers, the folks cutting meat, the people you see on the floor every day. Seriously, just let that sink in. How much would that change the way you approach your job? So, does all this ownership stuff actually work? Well, just take a look at this number, 5%. That is Publix's voluntary turnover rate. That means people simply do not want to leave. In any industry, that number is absolutely astounding. Okay, so employee ownership is huge, but it's not the whole story. Publix backs it up with a whole culture built around investing in their people's growth and well-being. It's about so much more than just a paycheck. And they really put their money where their mouth is. I mean, they'll help you pay for school with tuition reimbursement. They've got company-matched retirement plans. They even give generous health benefits to part-timers, which is almost unheard of. And on top of all that, there's a huge culture of promoting from within. It sends a really clear message. This isn't just a job, it's a career. And don't think for a second that this is all just feel-good stuff. This is a powerful business strategy. This intense focus on their own people is the engine that fueled their growth from that one little store in Florida to a network of over 1,200 supermarkets. Happy employees literally built this business. So let's connect the dots here. We've seen how Publix creates this incredible internal culture. But how does that actually translate to you and me, the customer walking through the door? Well, it shows up in simple but really powerful practices, like this one, the 10-foot, 10-second rule. Associates are taught to greet any customer who comes within 10 feet of them in under 10 seconds. Now, this isn't just some corporate mandate to be polite. It's a direct result of that ownership mindset. When you're an owner, you don't just ignore customers in your store. You take care of them. And this brings us right to the core connection. Internally, the company's whole goal is summed up as where working is a pleasure.
And that single focus is what directly creates the experience we all know as customers, where shopping is a pleasure. See? They're not two separate ideas. One is the cause, and the other is the effect.
What this all creates is a self-reinforcing loop, a virtuous cycle. You invest in your employees, who then feel like owners. Those owners provide exceptional service, which creates fiercely loyal customers. That loyalty drives profits and success, which then gives the company more resources to pour right back into its employees. The whole cycle just keeps spinning, getting stronger and stronger. So when you boil it all down, the Publix model isn't based on some secret technology or a patent. It's based on a philosophy of treating people with dignity and turning them into owners. And it really begs the question, doesn't it? If a supermarket can use this approach to build a legendary business, why isn't this the blueprint for every single company out there?